Welcome to my channel. Enjoy this video and subscribe my channel. 90 Day Fiancé. Before the 90 Days star Vanja Grbic probably had the worst luck in season 7. And I can't help but feel sorry for what happened between her and Josko Lukaten immediately after Božo Verdoljak rejected her. Vanja is a successful career woman from Florida. A medical sales representative by profession, Vanja confidently works as a belly dancer apart from being a vegan baker and a permanent makeup artist who specializes in areola tattoos for breast cancer survivors. I was so impressed by Vanja's resume that I knew she'd find a man who valued her in life. Alas, Vanja picked two of the vilest men in season 7 to date. Vanja didn't think too much about Božo ghosting her while she was taking flight after flight to go meet him. Vanja had fallen head over heels with Božo, who was telling her he loved her, having her travel across the world and then backing out. Once he met her, he began downplaying every kind word, every sweet thing he ever said to her. Vanja should have learned her lesson and stayed away from dating for a while, but then, in walked Josko, the bigger villain. Vanja's ex-fiancé cheated on her. I watched Vanja speak about her painful past during her introduction. She was the Jill of all trades and was super confident about every aspect of her life, but when it came to dating and relationships, life was unkind towards Vanja. Something about the way she spoke about her past told me all I needed to know about how Vanja acted in her relationships. It looked like she had always been the giver, constantly putting her partner's needs before her own and placing unrealistic or high expectations on someone who was not actively engaged or invested in the relationship. 11 years ago, Vanja had met the man she thought she would spend the rest of her life with. They even got engaged on the Great Wall of China. Vanja and her ex started having arguments. She couldn't figure out what was going on. One day she came over to his house and caught him making out with a girl on the couch. Vanja laughed while recalling the incident, but the pain in her eyes made my heart melt. She was a gentle soul whose heart had been trampled upon by the man she wanted to spend the rest of her life with. Vanja had a painful childhood. The whole relationship was a lie since the man had been living a double life the entire time. Vanja is originally from Eastern Europe. She saw there were similarities between her and Božo. He felt like home to her. Vanja had a beautiful childhood in Bosnia, but the war started when she was 10 years old. She had gone to meet her grandparents when she saw the sky getting lit up with missiles and was never able to go back home. Vanja lived with no water and electricity for a year. She survived on a mixture of flour and onions. I can't imagine how Vanja said, "I was killed on a couple of occasions" during the interview without breaking down. Vanja went through such levels of trauma as a child. She deserves happiness as an adult, but life has not been kind to the 90 Day Fiancé star. She knew that Božo's family in Croatia was affected by the war, just like everyone else in former Yugoslavia, and felt that he could understand the scars she carried. Božo never loved Vanja. Vanja had been single for 6 years when she went to meet Božo. She wished to come back with a ring on her finger. However, Božo didn't even remember texting Vanja, "I love you." He had no feelings for Vanja, and was using her as a distraction after his breakup with his ex-girlfriend. I suppose Božo didn't even expect Vanja to land in Croatia to meet him. However, Vanja wanted her rom-com moment. Sadly, it turned into a horror story for Vanja. Božo revealed he'd never loved Vanja. He said they were good friends. Vanja stayed in Croatia to heal herself. I really think that 90 Day Fiancé is Vanja dodged a bullet because Božo was not the right man for her. Here was Vanja with 4 jobs and a positive outlook towards life, while Božo had no motivation, which was evident from the fact that he had lied to her about being a professional footballer and lived with his mother. Božo was a coward who never deserved a woman like Vanja, but she was desperate to find love, and Božo seemed to be like a good candidate for her to spend the rest of her life with until he wasn't. The fact that Vanja chose to continue her vacation, instead of heading back home to nurse her heartbreak, told me that she was not someone who gave up easily. Vanja used dating apps to have some fun but ended up in a very serious relationship with yet another man who didn't value her. Josko made grand plans to move to America with his child. Vanja even picked out a room in her house for the baby. I don't know how Josko thought Vanja wasn't motherly enough to raise his son. He was probably only looking for a no-strings-attached relationship himself. Josko took advantage of Vanja's loneliness. The 90 Day Fiancé, before the 90 Days Tell-All previews are teasing something devastating that Josko did with Vanja. A clip, as reposted by 90 Day Fiancé blogger Shabuti, shows Sean Robinson asking Josko and Vanja about how their sex life was after all the pent-up anticipation. Vanja had not been physical with anyone for 6 years. Vanja felt embarrassed sharing the details on camera, but Josko, who had joined in via video call, felt the need to embarrass Vanja further. The comment caught Vanja off guard, and she decided to give Josko a taste of his own medicine, which I felt was a gutsy move on her part. While admitting she didn't want to talk about it, Vanja told Sean that Josko took a video of them in an intimate position without her knowledge. Josko wanted to brag about it on camera, and it deeply hurt Vanja's feelings. Josko's behavior went on to prove that the relationship was never about love for them. His shameless declaration shows that he probably used the baby as an excuse to gain Vanja's trust. Me and thousands of other 90-day fiancé before the 90 Days fans have been repulsed by Josko's actions. He's no better than Božo, but Božo at least didn't get intimate with Vanja and then tell her that he wanted to move on. Vanja needs to be the one to move from men like Božo and Josko and rediscover her self-worth. I understand that 2 back-to-back heartbreaks hurt, but it could have been a lot worse for the 90-day fiancé before the 90 Days star. Vanja should know that she is a catch who deserves better in life.